Hello and welcome to a new video, or welcome back if you've been here before. I still don't really know how to intro this channel, but today we're meal planning / prepping. So the way I'm going to start with the disclaimer. So the way that I meal prep is I do whatever I cook on Sunday for lunch and or dinner. That is going to be my lunch and dinner on Monday, and maybe my lunch Tuesday, depending on how things go. I do not like cooking something Sunday and then eating it Friday. I don't want it Friday. I'm done. By Tuesday, I'm probably over it. Heck, by Monday, I might even be over it. I'm gonna wipe this crock pot out real quick, because even though I'm gonna use a liner. But yeah, so the way that I meal prep for the week is I cook Sunday, and whenever I make for lunch or dinner that day, I make enough servings that I can have it Monday. And then Tuesday, because I don't stream on Tuesdays, whatever I make for dinner on Tuesday is my lunch and dinner Wednesday, and then my lunch Thursday. Then I cook something Thursday night, and again, that covers Friday. So that is how I meal prep for the work week. If you're someone like me that also does not like eating the same thing every day, I can't do it. I can, however, do it for breakfast. So later we'll be prepping a breakfast casserole for the entire week. Breakfast, I can literally make the same thing every week and I'm fine. Lunches and dinners, I can't do it. I can't do it. But we're going to start with my slow cooker. So usually, oh, that is on. That was hot. Don't do that. Didn't realize I left it on. I just plugged it in, so it's okay. It wasn't like on overnight or anything, which it's slow cooker. It's okay if it is. And yeah, well, except I had no food in it. Anyway, so sometimes what I'll do on Sunday is I'll put something in the slow cooker for my meal for that later that day. And that's what we're doing today. So we're making something that TikTok has dubbed Marry Me Chicken or Tuscan Chicken. And I've never made this, and I've never made it in the slow cooker, but it looked really good. So we're gonna attempt to make this and see how it tastes. But I use crock-pot liners because I think it's just so much easier to just put this in. And I would still run the, this part of the part of the crock-pot that you can put in the dishwasher. I'll still run it through the dishwasher, but I feel like it just doesn't get as dirty as fast. And it just stays nice and pristine. So what we were making, so first we're gonna add our chicken. So you don't have to clean up your chicken if you don't want to. I did it because I want to. So now we're gonna season both of our chicken breasts really quickly. I'm just gonna use like my usual seasonings. I'm gonna do salt, a little over the shoulder for luck. We're gonna do pepper, and I need to refill this poor pepper jar. I'll have to do that before I use it later. We're gonna do some garlic powder. I said some. That was a lot. We gotta fight off those vampires somehow, right? And then I'm gonna add some red pepper flakes. That was onion powder, red pepper flakes. We're gonna do some paprika. And one recipe I saw of this, they seared the chicken on the stove. And then when I saw they didn't, I've seen where people put heavy cream in this like immediately too, but I think I'm just gonna do it later. So I just did some like Italian seasoning. I just have like a Mrs. Dash Italian seasoning. We're gonna add, one recipe called for a cup. Another recipe used like half a cup. I think I'm gonna use half a cup. Some broth in here too. So I think we'll just do half a cup. And then if we need to add more, we'll add more. I'm just gonna kind of add it around the chicken. There we go. And then the piece de resistance is adding some sun-dried tomatoes, which I've never had sun-dried tomatoes, so I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but we're about to find out. And I think I'm just gonna add a couple. I don't think I'm gonna go crazy with this. I might add some of this oil in here, just a little bit of it, but I think I'm just gonna add a couple of these in here. So I added a couple in there, and then we're just gonna put the lid on and cook this on high for about 3 to 4 hours. So we're gonna have just a late lunch today because it's currently already 11. All right, so it's only been about 2 hours, and the chicken's pretty much done. I cut into one of them to just double check and did a temperature gauge on them, and they are done. So what we're gonna do now is I have this pasta to cook. I got it from Publix, it was buy one, get one free, so I thought this one would be kind of good. I'm gonna cook this pasta, just a super simple broccoli florets you can just throw in the microwave to steam. And we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna add our heavy cream to our slow cooker as well here in a little bit. I'm excited. Okay, so I finished cooking the pasta. It ended up making a lot more pasta than I thought it was gonna make. That little bag had so much pasta in it after it all cooked. But I transferred the sauce and the chicken onto the stovetop. I think you can also maybe hear Piper breathing in the background. She just came from outside. I think if I make this again, I might just make it on the stovetop. Not that I'm saying the slow cooker isn't working, it's just, it's not working for me. I think I did something wrong, and that's okay. We're just gonna adapt. So I ended up saving some of the pasta water, so I'm gonna add just a little bit to the sauce. And I saw, there was just so many different videos. I saw another video where someone ended up adding some Parmesan cheese to it. And I feel like you can never go wrong with that. So we're gonna add some Parmesan cheese. I just have a block of cheese. And I didn't add a whole lot. I added a little bit earlier too, off camera. But I think that'll just really add to the sauce, you know. And she definitely thickened it up now. All right, so now I think we're gonna go ahead and add our pasta. I don't know if I'm gonna add all this pasta. No, it doesn't look like as much. It looked like so much earlier. I think we'll just do that much to start, and then we'll add more. Might add some more Parmesan. And then I'm not gonna add a lot of broccoli. I did HelloFresh for a while, and I had like 1 month where, for whatever reason, almost every meal kit I got ended up having broccoli in it, and I don't blame them, that was my own fault. So now I'm kind of all broccolied out. But this does need something green in it, which again, you could do spinach. And then I totally just dropped a spoon on the floor. I like to smush the broccoli so it like melds all together, you know. It is good though. Actually, I haven't even tried it yet. I only had the chicken. Let's give her a bite. That is pretty good. I think if I make it again, I will make it on the stovetop. I will use more chicken broth. Or if I do make it in the slow cooker, I will sear the chicken first, because I did see someone did that and it looked really good. And I think that definitely missed some flavor from there, but it is good. But now I'm going to essentially relax and eat my lunch, and I'm currently washing clothes, so I need to take a shower here soon, and later we will make our breakfast casserole and we will make our snacks and everything. So yay. All right, so I finished lunch. I will say it was pretty good. I did make a little bit of extra sauce just using the oil from the sun-dried tomatoes, a little bit of butter, a little bit of the chicken stock, and heavy cream, Parmesan, and put that on the portions that I set out. So now, we have a bowl of strawberries and grapes with a little bit of vinegar. We're gonna let this sit for about 15 minutes. Now we're gonna make our breakfast casserole. I have the oven preheating to 350. I will link this recipe down below. Love this recipe. To this bowl, we're gonna add 2 cups of shredded hash browns. All right, so that's about 2 cups. The original recipe also calls for like onions and more bacon than what I'm doing, and more cheese, but I'm gonna show you how I do it. So we have our potatoes in here first. We're gonna season our potatoes with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. One time I made the mistake of not seasoning the potatoes by themselves, and it was still good, but I definitely needed to season the potatoes too. Okay, and give this a nice little mixy mix. You do not have to do this. This is also something that I just do myself. So this calls for an entire container of a 16-ounce container of cottage cheese. I accidentally got large curd. I meant to get small curd, but we're blending it anyway, so it doesn't matter. So this is how I do this. So I'm just using my little like Hamilton Beach blender. Sometimes I bring out the big one, but for this I usually just do the small one. So I'm going to put half of this in here. I just think it gives it a nice smooth texture when you blend it. And I'm going to blend it. This recipe calls for 8 eggs. I'm going to put 4 in here and then blend it. All right, eggs and cottage cheese are in there. And I'm just going to blend it. Then we're going to pour this mixture onto our potatoes. And then we're going to do the other half. Obviously, if you have a bigger blender, you can put all 10 eggs and the whole thing of cottage cheese. But since I'm using my small blender, I just do half and half. The recipe calls for a lot of cheese, and I love cheese, but it was almost too much just for me personally. So I just do the cottage cheese, and I just do, that could maybe be a cup of shredded cheese, I don't know. Sometimes I shred it myself, sometimes I use pre-shredded, whatever. And it basically just looks like this. Not very pretty, but it's very delicious. Now we grease our 9x13 pan. Just using like a non-stick canola oil spray, just a little bit. What I really like about this is you can add anything to it. So I'm gonna add some bacon. I bought one of those. Sometimes I'm lazy and I buy like those microwave bacon because sometimes I'll do the bacon in the oven, but I feel like it just makes such a mess. And same with the air fryer, and this tastes just as good. So I'm adding 4 slices of bacon. You can do more, you can do less, you could do ham, like pre-cooked ham, literally whatever you want. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt since we added the eggs and cottage cheese, but just a little bit. And I'm gonna add more pepper. As you can tell, I also refilled my pepper shaker because she was empty. We don't want to mix this too much. Just literally pour it right into the dish. I've also made these where in muffin pans I added the hash browns and then poured over the cottage cheese, egg, cheese, bacon mixture. And that worked pretty well too. So do whatever you like, you know? And I just give it a little tappy tap, and this goes into the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes until it's done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut all of our fruit and make our little snack trays. So I have this that I showed in a previous vlog where I put just like whatever snack I want for that weekend. And then I usually make some sort of homemade ranch dip. So let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to add baby carrots to this. Just give them a quick rinse in the bag. And we're just gonna add, however many will fit in here, if I'm being honest. It doesn't have to be perfect, because you can always add more carrots as the week goes on. So like this usually lasts me like Monday, Tuesday, maybe part of Wednesday, and then I'll add more carrots if I need to. Okay, so that's for that. So now we're gonna add some crackers, some cheese, and some turkey pepperoni. Basically making essentially a, these in here in a Ziploc bag. Essentially making our own like Lunchable. So 17 pieces is a serving size, so that's how many I'm gonna put in here. I'm just gonna put them in this little part. These things are surprisingly good. They come in a bag that's not resealable, so that's why I put it in a Ziploc bag. But these are the Parmesan and garlic good thins. Very good. They're also gluten-free. I'm not gluten-free, they just so happen to be. Besides the carrots, because I don't really portion my vegetables out, I'm pretty much doing a serving size of everything. So a serving size of pepperonis is 17. Hey, that's perfect. So we'll just count out our pepperonis. You could also just weigh these, it's probably easier. And then like if I end up eating this on Monday, what I'll do is I'll refill it either Monday night or Tuesday morning so that I have it for Tuesday. Or I refill it with something else. It doesn't have to be the same thing. And then I bought just these like ultra thin sharp cheddar, and it's 3 slicings for a serving, but I'm going to cut them so that it's basically like a little like sandwich. Let me get a cutting board. And this gave me more than 17, but I'm gonna be honest, I'll probably give Piper like a slice or 2 while I'm eating it, so that's fine. And sometimes I'll double up my cheese, no biggie. So now we have 1 slot left. You could put your ranch in there. I'm just gonna put it in this because I think it's easier. Or we can add some honey glazed cashews for just something a little sweet. So this is supposed to be 1/4 of a cup or 34 grams for a serving. I know I said I don't normally weigh things out, but because this is just easier, we're gonna weigh it out. And we're just gonna weigh it directly in the container. Maybe we'll just use our ranch container. That ended up being 35 grams, that's close enough. I do weigh out my food because I am just trying to be a little bit healthier. And I am trying to lose weight if I can, but I'm down 11 pounds now, so, but it's okay if it's not exact. Like, I'm not gonna like harp on it, but this is our little snack pack. How cute. Okay, so we're gonna put the lid on this, and then when I'm ready to snack, I'm gonna have to take some of these carrots out. Come many carrots. Okay, no, it closed. So when I'm ready to snack, I can just grab this. Ignore the water stains. I should have wiped that off. I can just grab this and like the ranch cup, which we're gonna make here in a second, and just eat out of this. Or I can just take the carrots out and eat it with the ranch, or like whatever I want to do, really. If you also don't like ranch dip, or you just don't want it, you could also just do a hummus instead. Or if you're someone that can eat carrots without a dip. I just like having something to dip it in. I think it's fun. So I'm just gonna add like a spoonful of the Greek yogurt, a little bit of light mayo to it. Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. My microphone keeps moving because of my shirt. I magnetized it to the shirt. Hopefully that's working better. Okay. Now I just have this like ranch seasoning powder that I use. That is not the side I want. Okay. And I honestly just eyeball it. And then we're gonna add a splash of almond milk. I said almond milk, but we're adding a splash of oat milk. You could use buttermilk if you want. I just don't want to buy buttermilk just for this. I literally just a splash. And then just mix it. You can mix it in here, but I feel like this gives me more room to stir. And then I just give it a little taste. Needs just a little bit more ranch powder. And then I do add a little bit of pepper. Tiniest amount of salt, just bloop. A little bit of garlic powder, just a little bit. I should just make homemade, but I don't want a big thing of it, and that's why I do it this way. Which I guess if I'm making homemade, I could not have a big thing of it too, but whatever. And then give it a taste. And I literally just plop it right in the container. And that's it. So then when I'm ready to snack, I just grab both of these. I do work from home, so it's a little bit easier for me. But I think even if you work in an office, this is definitely easy to grab. Sometimes I'll grab a plate and grab a little bit of everything and put it on a plate, and then just put a little bit of the ranch on there. You know, it's whatever floats your boat, you know? So I'm gonna make 2 fruit cups, and then whatever is left over, we're gonna store it in more of these Rubbermaid containers. These are all Rubbermaid containers. I'll link them down below. I absolutely love these things. Not sponsored, just really like them. Okay. So in these little cups, we're gonna have strawberries and grapes, and then I bought a pre-cored, is that what it's called? Pre-cored pineapple from Publix. Sometimes I'll buy a pineapple and core it myself. Sometimes I don't, or like take the outside out, I guess. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. It's really dependent on my mood. Okay, so now we're gonna take the strawberries out. And I'm going to cut the strawberries into bite-sized pieces. And I promise if you do use the vinegar, it does not taste like vinegar. And I'm just gonna cut like the bad parts off of them too. I'm very picky about my strawberries, is what I have learned. And then for the rest of the strawberries, we're gonna keep them stored in an airtight container with the paper towel. I have heard, because of, you know, like the moisture content of strawberries, you should store them with a paper towel. I don't know how true that is, so don't quote me on it. And I'll just put the strawberries in here. And they should dry off too because of the paper towel that's in here. And any that don't look great, I will not put in here. Now we have the grapes that we let soak as well. I want to also say I strained this out and then I cleaned out the bowl, so they're not like sitting in like dirty water. Just for the record. And really, there's not a whole lot left of the grapes. This little teeny white lid, it's just like perfect for like little snacks, or there's a strawberry leaf on the bottom of it. It's really perfect for just like snacks or like little fruit cups. So that means I can get rid of one of these extra containers. Yay! Cut the pineapple, or put it in that bowl just because there's a lot of like juice in there. So, and we're gonna take the core out. Okay. And then I literally just cut it down in half, and then again, and then just very carefully cut it into bite-sized pieces once again. And then I'll put a couple of pineapples in each one. And sometimes if, you know, I eat my breakfast casserole and I'm still a little bit hungry, I'll grab one of these fruit bowls and eat it then. Sometimes I'll add, I have like Cool Whip in the fridge, I'll add a little bit of Cool Whip to it and kind of have like a dessert kind of moment. But I basically just put all these in there. I probably could use a smaller container for this, but that's okay, maybe not. We're gonna clean off this cutting board. I mean, it really just has pineapple and fruit juice on it, so it's really not a big deal. So I just have to grab one of these and a fork, and this is a super easy, quick snack. And then I have extra pineapple and strawberries. And then these I can also grab for a quick snack. Put it with my breakfast. Cut up the strawberry, make another one of these, whatever you want to do, and just put these right in the fridge. So now we're also going to prep some romaine lettuce. I've heard you shouldn't cut your romaine lettuce and you should just tear it by hand, but I just think cutting it with a knife is so much easier. I don't know. But I'm going to wash this really quickly first. I have heard the paper towel thing that you do for strawberries, you're also supposed to do for lettuce. Again, I don't know how true this is, but I'm doing it. Okay. So I prep this essentially. So this is basically for if I want salads, if I want to make a wrap, whatever the case may be. Some of these did not look that great, so we're gonna cut those off. But I just shred it up. And then I just keep the lettuce in a little container. Make sure there's no gross pieces. I think we're just gonna shred the one for now. And the other two I'm gonna put in an airtight container or a bag probably. If I wanna make like one of those lettuce wraps I made in my last video, sometimes I'll buy just like a salad mix. It just depends on what the grocery store has and what's on sale. This wasn't on sale, but I really liked having this last time, so this is what I got. Now we're gonna do one more thing. So I got this bag of Sun Chips the other day at the grocery store. Buy one, get one free. And it's a big bag, it's not a portion size bag. If I take this whole thing, I'm gonna end up eating the whole thing. And that's fine. But I'm gonna portion it out. So 28 grams as a serving size, or 14 chips. I don't feel like counting out 14 chips, so we're gonna use this. Weigh this out, put a bowl on it, even it out. What did I say? 28 grams. Okay. That ended up being 29. That's okay. Some of the chips are like bigger than others because they're broken. And then I'm just gonna put them in my little sandwich bag as carefully as I can. And then again, this is already like prepped and ready to go, so I can have these with the wrap. I can just have these by themselves. And I feel like this satiates my craving for chip. Little bags of chips. They're just gonna keep in the pantry, and I can just grab when I want a little snack, a little crunch. So the breakfast bake's almost done, but I wanted to show you what the fridge looks like. I actually cleaned it the other day too. So we also have these little pickle containers. They're so good. They're so good. And they reseal too, which is nice. But it's just kosher dill chips made with sea salt. They had these like buy one get one free, so I got a couple in there. This is the Cool Whip I was talking about. So we have the lettuce, we have all of our pasta, so that's dinner tonight, lunch and dinner tomorrow. We have all of our fruit up here. We have a little snack pack, fruit. And I try to keep things on these shelves because then I'm more than likely to reach for them if they're right here in front of my face. Because I tend to forget that I have stuff in here. So as long as it's in these containers and clear and I can see them, I'm more likely to grab them. So, you know, and you can switch things up, you know, do whatever works for you and what you like. All right, here is the breakfast bake. It ended up taking about 33 minutes, I think. I turned the oven off and then I set it to broil for just like a minute or two to just give it a nice little top. You could also top this with cheese on top of it and then do that, and that would probably be really good. But I'm gonna let this fully cool, and I basically cut it down the middle and then cut it there and then cut it there and then cut it across, and it ends up making I think like 12 or so portions. I usually do one slice or two if it's really small, and then I'll have it for breakfast, heat it up in the microwave for like 15-20 seconds until it's heated through, or until it's hot, I guess, and maybe have it with some fruit or just have it by itself with whatever works. And I do freeze half of these. I cut them, put them in a Ziploc freezer bag, and just put them in the freezer, and then half I cut and just put in the fridge in a container. And that's it. And that's my meal prep. That is, and then throughout the week, I'll kind of just figure out like what other meals I want to do. Like I have that romaine lettuce, so I could make a salad. I have some chicken in the freezer. I could thaw that out, cook that, put that on the salad, make wraps, and that's pretty much it. That's my meal prep. It takes me, with everything, I mean, this was pretty much done cooking by the time I finished the fruit cutting and getting like the little snack tray and everything ready. So it kind of like works out where everything kind of finishes around the same time. But this is so easy to just throw in the oven. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you maybe got some ideas. I will link all the recipes down below for the breakfast casserole, as well as the Tuscan chicken that I totally ended up messing up but still tasted good. And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe. We will be filming a vlog this Friday, which I'm excited, but I'll catch you all later. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.